Do you have a phone? Do you have a laptop? Do you have a phone and a laptop that go together in one glorious piece of hardware? I didn't think so. But if you were at CES this year, you would have seen that Razer has exactly that. You want to know more? Let's dive right in. It's time for Unboxed Daily. Welcome to Unboxed Daily. I'm your host, Jason. And today we're going to go back a couple months and take a look at Razer's Project Lynda, which was an opportunity to see how their phone and their laptops could be combined into one seamless piece of hardware. If you like what you see and you want to check out more, head on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And if you really love us, hit that bell as well. First things first, Project Lynda.
All right.
Weird name, okay? Let's just get it right out there. It's a very strange name to describe what is actually a pretty cool concept. Namely, the ability to take your Razer phone, insert it into a slot built specifically for a Razer laptop, and combine them into one seamless piece of hardware that actually does quite a bit of cool stuff. Here to tell us more from CES was Dave 2D.
The first thing I want to talk about is their thing called Project Lynda. This thing looks out of this world. They're using the Razer phone and placing it into this chassis to create this really impressive device. Like, I don't even know how to describe this thing. It's kind of like a laptop, but it uses the phone. There's no internals of this laptop to give it processing capabilities. It's literally the phone is powering everything. I mean, there's a battery in there and it's got a screen, but all the processing power and the touchpad comes from the Razer phone.
Now granted, this isn't the first time that somebody's tried to take a mobile device and turn it into some sort of desktop or laptop experience.
I will remember you.
Still, this is the first one that I've seen personally that I think has the best chance of succeeding. Now, one of the cool things about Project Lynda is the idea that you can take your Razer phone, actually drop it into essentially the keyboard to power the full laptop experience. And one of the cool benefits of that, you can use your phone as a trackpad. Here to tell us more is Austin Evans.
They've actually done a lot of interesting engineering to make this work. So we hit the button to detach the phone. There's just going to be a little cutout here where we can grab it. And what's cool is not only does this keep the power button exposed, but we also still have access to the fingerprint sensor. Now what's cool is we can actually even motorize it without the phone in. So you can see the USB port just kind of pops in and pops out. Also, I just really like the noise. It just sounds so cool.
And not only can it be a trackpad, it can be a second screen as well, which makes for some really cool and interesting opportunities depending on whether you're using it for gaming or editing or even just basic, word processing even. One of the things I really like about the concept behind Project Lynda is that it doesn't require a tremendous amount of extra UI or user experience in order to work. You drop the phone in and it's exactly as you would anticipate a really solid Android experience to be. Here to tell us more, as well as his reaction to the overall experience, is Mr. Mobile.
Using Project Lynda is exactly as you'd expect. It's Android on a big screen, and just like on an Android tablet, that's a mix of good and bad. But to Razer's credit, there's nothing extraneous here. Just like the company didn't load down its phone with anything more than Nova Launcher, Project Lynda keeps it to the essentials as well. Yeah, it's a little weird to use a phone display as a trackpad, but you can always pair a Bluetooth mouse. The phone can also serve as a secondary screen while docked.
I mean, why would you pair a mouse to that? You've got the trackpad right there. All right, there's probably a very good reason for that. I just think it's really cool to use your phone as a trackpad. I know, I'm easily entertained by such things. But there's plenty of other stuff to be entertained about as well. For example, your phone actually provides not only the trackpad, but also the speakers. It powers the processor. It can be recharged by the laptop. There's some pretty cool functionality here. Let me take a step aside. I'll let Linus from Linus Tech Tips show you exactly what I mean.
The speakers are actually built into the phone, and then they're going to have some other functionality built into this guy as well. So it's going to have an extended battery, so you're not going to have to worry about the still impressive 4,000 milliamp hour battery, but maybe not good enough to power this screen for a long time battery. You're going to be able to get, hopefully, a fair bit of use out of it. It's got a full-size Razer grade keyboard, so that means nice clicky keys in the case of the Razer Blade Stealth, as well as full RGB lighting. It's got an illuminated Razer logo on the back, and they're working out a way to use USB on the go for expanded storage.
That's a lot for a phone to power and manage throughout the course of a day's work. But the phone itself has 4,000 milliamp hours, and the fact that it can be recharged by the battery in the laptop itself means you get a pretty decent chunk of power throughout the day and a decent amount of processing power to boot. Now, to be fair, this is still a concept. You can't actually go and buy the Project Lynda computer bundle anywhere yet, and that's okay. because there's still some things to work out, some kinks that have to be addressed before, in the long term, this would be a viable product. Here to tell us his thoughts on where some of those pitfalls might be is Armando Ferreira.
You know, a lot of people upgrade their phones. They're upgrading phones, you know, once, twice a year sometimes. I know it gets kind of crazy. So what happens when you upgrade your phone? What happens when the design changes? Do you just throw away the shell and it's not going to work anymore? You're kind of set on that specific square design.
I mean, aside from the part that you can't actually buy this setup yet, one of the things that would hold me back is the fact that phones' form factor changes very regularly. I mean, if you look at iPhones from the first to today, there are just all sorts of different sizes and shapes. If Razer even remotely wants to change the size of their laptop, this whole concept falls apart. I'd be very interested to hear how they address that when they, well, if they actually release this in the future. And that's it for this quick look at Razer's Project Lynda from back in the day at CES. What do you think? Would you actually go out and purchase this if it was available? Let me know what you think. But in the meantime, if you like what you saw and you want to check out more, head on over to unboxed.tv or look us up on the iOS store. In the meantime, I'll see you back here soon for more great videos from your favorite product reviewers and unboxers. I'm your host, Jason. Have a great day.